Hi, good morning. I wanted to hop on here really quick. Just something was on my mind, and I'm just sitting here literally reading my book, Win the Day. I really love it. It's taking me a little bit to get through it because there's a lot of like key points, and I'm trying to I don't even know what's going on in my hair right here, but I'm trying to kind of go through it and actually work through it and highlight it and everything like that. So anyways, this was something that was just on my mind. I feel like when things like that are on my mind, it's like God really telling me, like, Chelsea, you need to tell somebody this because they need to hear it, right? Like, they need the help just like you needed the help when you first started this business. So every single rank that I hit, no matter what it's been, when I went for executive, when I went for ruby, when I went for emerald, when I went for diamond, and now, like, even when I go double diamond, I'm not going to project that, but there's always been a point where there's a take back, a little bit of a take back. So you hit it, and all of a sudden, like, I get inside my head and I tell myself, okay, I'm good. I landed here, and like, I'm planted here and I'm good. It's almost like, you know, you're just running and running and running and running. And then all of a sudden you get to that safety zone and you feel like you can breathe again. Right. And, it's really crazy because I feel like every single time I get there, I feel like I have arrived. And so I stopped doing the things that got me to the point of arrival. And I slow down and I feel like, well, I'm here, so I can take a break for a minute. And, well, I'm here, so I can chill out for a minute, and I start slowing down and I start getting inside my head at that point, and I start going backwards, and then all of a sudden I've lost rank, and I went from ruby all the way back down to distributor before. I went, from emerald all the way back down to ruby before. I went to diamond all the way back down to ruby before. And like, I have gone, your business kind of goes like this, up and down, until you figure out how to keep it consistent. This is something that everybody goes through. You have to go through your time, right? And I feel like every single time that I've gotten to this point where my business has taken a huge dip, it's called a valley. So we call it the mountains, is where you're like up high and you're like, yeah, I crushed that rank. I hit it, biggest paychecks ever. And then all of a sudden it dips because you get, kind of cocky. You kind of get in your own head. You kind of tell yourself, for whatever reason, and it might not even be cockiness. It might be like just getting inside your head, telling yourself you're not good enough. I've done that before. Like, who am I to make this type of money? Who am I to hit these big ranks? Oh my gosh, more is going to be expected of me. How am I supposed to do this? Did I really get there? Like, how did I get there? Right? Like, all of a sudden I get to turn around and train my team, and it's scary AF. And I know that somebody on here can feel this, right? And so, and let's just drop a heart below if you can feel me on this, okay? You hit a rank or you hit a personal goal and you start going backwards because you feel like you've arrived. And maybe it's you being cocky and like, yeah, I'm good, I made it. I don't need to do anything else, right? Or maybe it's you getting inside your head telling yourself that you're not good enough, and like, why, like, who are you to make that kind of money? Who are you to meet those goals, right? And you start looking around for reasons why it wouldn't have worked, right? Or why it shouldn't work, or why you shouldn't be where you are right there, right? It's so crazy how our mind is so tricky like that. And honestly, what pulled me back from it was personal development and momentum, okay? I have had so many people come to me and say, I don't know why it was so easy when I first started. I don't know why it was so simple, and it felt like it was effortless when I first started. Or I don't know why it felt like it was like fun and exciting when I was running to the rank, and now all of a sudden it's hard, right? And what we have to understand, like, I had to come to this conclusion that what worked back then when I was running for those ranks still works. And I had to come to the reality that I was not working. So I had to be honest with myself. And maybe this is your season for God to teach you that you need to be honest with yourself. Maybe it's your season to learn. Maybe it's your valley where you learn. And every single value that you hit, I don't care who you are, every single time that your business goes up high and it dips down low, this is where you're meant to learn something. God does not want you to take yourself out of the game. He wants you to learn something in this valley that you're in right now, and he wants you to come back up. The only way for you to come back up is start doing the things that worked. So if you were doing host to post like crazy during those times where your business was booming and exploding, do more of it. If you were at this point where you know, you want to come back up, and when your business was booming, you were in the depths with your team and you were really teaching them and guiding them and like answering screenshots for them, and you were really, messaging them every single day and getting in contact with them. If you were doing power hours during that time, okay, guess what? They still work. All these things still work. And it takes a little bit of time for it to show, like to reflect and bounce off of you. But you have to start at start. And that starting line is with you. No matter what, momentum starts with you and it trickles down to your team. So if you want your team and you want your business to explode, no matter where you're at, I don't care if you're at distributor level, ruby level, emerald level, diamond level, it doesn't matter where you're at. If you want things to change and you want things to go back up and you want things to get better and you want big moves on your team and you want the paychecks back and you want big things to happen for you and your team, it starts with you. You have to start getting loud about what you're doing. You have to start getting loud about what you're doing every single day. You have to start pushing for it every single day. You have to get in your inbox. Posting doesn't make us money. So if you know that those times where your business was exploding and you were getting loyal customer after loyal customer after loyal customer, and now you're not, there's one thing you're doing different, right? There might be two things that you're doing different. You're probably not messaging as much as you should be, right? And I'm going to tell you this because I love you and I care about you and I want you to hear this because you're not being honest with yourself. So somebody has to do it for you, right? You have to get up and move. You have to send the messages. You have to add people. You have to do all the things that you did when you first started. You just have to push harder. You have to go the opposite direction, right? Your business is like a plane taking off the ground. It's not going to take off the ground when you're in and out, in and out, in and out. Success is not the hokey pokey. So when I'm looking at these 90-day sheets and I'm seeing that half of them are filled out and you're posting at 8 o'clock at night, and if you're watching this on YouTube, you have no idea what I'm talking about, right? When you come to me in the next, 2 months or a month or 2 or 3 months or 4 months and you say, my business is going nowhere, I'm going to go back to the 90-day push and I'm going to say, this is where, this is why. You have to show up. If you want it all, you have to be willing to go all in. You have to be willing to give all so that your hands are wide open so that God can hand it all, right? So that he can gift it all to you, so that you can get it all, so you can receive it all, right? You have to give it to receive it. And if you're at this point in your business where you've given it and given it and given it, and then you lose rank afterwards, or you drop down and you have a valley because you stopped giving, you have to give it to receive it again. That's all that it is. It's I had to realize that I was doing it to myself, and that if I wanted my momentum to go up, I had to go all in. I had to make a push for it. So that's why we do these things called 90-day push, 90-day pushes, because it gains momentum on our team. It gains momentum for our own business. It gets the distributors in to help them, right? It gets the loyal customers in to re-rank and do all the things, right? And so I hope that this helps at least one person today. If it did help you, tell me below in the comments. I love you guys so much, and I hope that you have a great Tuesday.